The extension of friendship. Friendship supposes a length of time. Friendship supposes a length of time along a custom, not just a will. Contrary to what Rousseau says. Rousseau says the society is a social contract. It's an act of my will. I want to be French, therefore I apply for French passport and so on. Should I fancy something else, I just change and switch nationality and everything.
So suppose there's a length of time.
A length of time, a long custom, not just a simple will. See, there's a common life. There is a communality of life. See, the wish to be friend can be quick, you know, like when you meet people, they are nice guys, so you wish to be friends with them. That's not friendship. Friendship itself is not quick. It's long. Friendship is a common life. It's a constant way to be. The most certain proof of friendship is common life. The most certain proof of friendship is common life. Like in marriage, the husband and wife share the same goods, the same house, the same bedroom, and the same bed. So it's a very the common life is extremely narrow. So should there be a problem or a mismatch, then it's going to be very painful, because it's a type of friendship which is extremely near. Nevertheless, society is not a friendship in a proper sense. Because you cannot be loved by many people at the same time, except if you are a sociopath. That's a problem with the sociopath. They are constantly hungry to check that people love them. Their popularity is so they constantly look for the attention of the others and everything, and they constantly need to be repeated that they are great. Like Joseph Stalin, you know, he needs to see his pictures everywhere, and he needs to be praised all the time, and he needs to hear that or the dictators in Korea, you know? they have this big need, you know, that the entire population shows that they are very important, that every day, you know, so they got their big statues everywhere in their lifetime and everything. So they're very worried about it. They are sociopaths. So you cannot be loved by many people. You don't expect that unless you are a sociopath. Neither can you love many people at the same time. You cannot love more than a certain quantity of people. So you can love the Eskimos, but that's beyond the range. You can like the Eskimos, you read about them, they got a tough life and everything, and they freeze all the time, they got air conditioning all the time. They don't have any typhoons, only blizzards. They don't have any heavy rain, it never rains, it only snows there. So you can admire them or so on and so forth. But they are way beyond the range of your love. That's what Maurras says. Charles Maurras says, M-A-U Mauras. Father Le Floch was demoted by Pius XI because he liked Maurras a little bit too much. Charles Maurras is a French philosopher, political philosopher. Now, the political and national bond stopped to be strong beyond a certain radius. Beyond a certain radius, it's not strong. But we find there, at the political level, the same qualities of friendship, of perfect friendship. So it's not friendship properly as such, but the constitutive elements of friendship are found in a political society. So, which is as we said, the goodwill, the benevolence, veli aliqui bonum, the reciprocity, the constancy, the communication of good, the agreeableness, the union, to be of one soul, the sympathy, eadem vele, eadem nole, the disinterestedness and virtue. So, like the Filipinos, they like lechon, they like rice, okay? They don't like what other recipes you don't like? Cheese. They don't like French cheese. They hate French cheese. Yeah, there is nobody in this room. Have you eaten French cheese, Jean-Marc?
Yes.
You tried. Did you like it?
No.
No. So you tried, you found out, I just hate French cheese. So there is nobody. And Arsène, do you like French cheese? No. Sometimes, but you are not a Filipino. But here, all the three Filipinos here dislike French cheese. So they have the same loves and the same dislikes. So they must be a bunch of friends. Both you and I, Arsène, are foreigners here. They are, we don't have the same type of friendship that exists between these three. But nevertheless, because the political union seeks the usefulness of the entire life. See, the political union seeks the usefulness of the entire life of all the citizens. Not just of Mrs. So-and-so. That's your problem, it's your marriage. But the political good seeks the usefulness and the happiness of many more people, of the entire association, which is a political entity. So because of that, the political union is above all other friendships and associations. That's why it's above all the schools, the seminaries, basketball clubs, everything. NFL, NBA, UEFA, that's European Football Association, the Liga of the Spaniards, the Premier League of the English. The political entity is above all these things. And the political society does not simply seek usefulness. So the political society gives the usefulness in a much higher way. It's much more useful, but also in political society seeks normally the virtue of the citizens, not just usefulness. So it seeks virtue, which is the only way to happiness. Which is the only way to happiness. So in Plato, you know, Plato in a republic, he's got something right, something wrong. What is right in a republic of Plato is that the lawgiver must aim towards the virtue of the citizens. Yes, that is what is so true in a republic of Plato. The problem is Plato wants to effect that. How? By what system? Brother, you should know. Communism, basically, is to put everything in common. Because he says the lawgiver wants the citizens to be virtuous, therefore we're going to put everything in common, including women, which is completely crazy. So both property and everything is put into common. I mean, Plato wants to complete idealism. I mean, in that book, the idealism of Plato is very, very obvious. But he really dreams. This is not the way it's done in a normal world. And Aristotle adds, you know, friendship is always a sort of virtue, and is always accompanied by virtue. Where there is no affection between a leader and his subordinates, it's a form of tyranny. It doesn't mean that, you know, you every morning you got to tell me, oh, Father Shazar, I love you very much, you know, you are so great. No. But there must be in you a sufficient notion that, I mean, at least I know what I'm doing, more or less. You know. But, I'm trying to help you out. That's sufficient. Otherwise, you have a tyranny. Because Aristotle says, because of the virtues that distinguish him, a leader is busy to make his subjects happy with as much care as a shepherd takes care of his flock. Where do you find this as well? Our Lord, St. John, you know. Which chapter, you know?
10.
Chapter 10. Yeah, John chapter 10. Our Lord defines himself as the good shepherd. It is in our Lord that you find all the qualities of the leader, and also our Lord has come on earth to establish a city, a visible society, and the ingredients that he has put are perfectly in line with a philosophy, with what the Greeks themselves found. You can clearly see in what our Lord does and says, and the way he operates, what he says he matches the order of nature as well, very well. So, like the followers of Alexander the Great, they followed him, and then when they got by the river Indus, you know, so far away from home, they realized, what have we done? You know, we are crazy. We are now, you know, years away from our home, and there's only half of us alive. It means the rest of us is gonna die on the way back. Like the soldiers of Napoleon, you know, there were 600,000 to follow him into Russia. and 20,000 came out, perhaps 50,000, but at least 20,000 Frenchmen made it back to Paris, and they still loved him. You know, you get this story. You know, I told you in the Invalides. You know, when the lady started to criticize Napoleon, you know, and they all yelled, "Vive l'empereur!" and the whole place was on fire. So they got whacked so badly because of Napoleon. But there's something that we cannot explain now about Napoleon. He was able to electrify his soldiers, and they would just do it for him. That's how crazy they were. So you're gonna find that in history. But it shows something which is natural to man. That man tends to follow a leader. You know, the excesses that are happening now in Neo-SSPX with Bishop Fellay reflect also human nature. That people were looking for a father figure, and they found it in Bishop Fellay, and so they gave their trust to him. It's not necessarily a misplaced trust. If Bishop Fellay does his job, there's nothing wrong with it. If you conceive affection for Bishop Fellay, I was myself a big fan. I remember in '94, I prayed that he may be elected Superior General. And he ordained me, and I remember my ordination sermon was a very nice sermon about the damnation of so many souls. That our job would be to teach the truth, because the truth is not taught anymore. The Catholic truth, many souls are being lost, so we're here to stem that. It was a nice sermon, definitely. And for many years, I was happy to collaborate and so forth. But then cracks started to appear, and then the veil got torn and everything. So yes, but it is natural for us to have an attraction for, or we are looking for a leader. So we look for Bishop Williamson, and say, Bishop Williamson, we love you and everything. You're a herd of cats. I don't want to hear about you. I'm not your leader. Get out of here. And but still, we would like to have an Alexander the Great, or Julius Caesar was like that. Julius Caesar was the leader of what party in Rome? The plebeians or the patricians? No, he was from the gens Iulia. Yes, he was one of the noble families of Rome. He is a leader of the plebeian party. He was a very popular man, and he always took care of polishing his popularity to such an extent that he became an absolute ruler, because people were simply glad to hand over power to him. And because he had great qualities. For instance, when he was with his army, he would march in front of the army and carry the impedimenta with the legionary, with everybody else. So he would force march with the others. He was an old man and everything, but he probably had a good frame, and so he would force march on foot with his men. Napoleon did a little bit less than Julius Caesar. Napoleon, what he did is he would go by the campfire. That's his custom, was always to go by the campfire. So he would appear like that, out of the blue, in the midst of the soldiers, and take part in a discussion with the soldiers. Now the men really appreciated that. Maréchal Pétain, in the Battle of Verdun, so things were not going so well, and especially after Verdun, the Chemin des Dames offensive. So the French were fed up and they were doing mutiny. Well, Pétain would try the food of the soldiers. That's not good. We need to improve the kitchen. That alone made Pétain hugely popular with the French soldiers. Because Napoleon says an army only walks on its stomach. So, you know, you can give them guns and ammunition, but that's only secondary. In an army must eat well. If it does not eat well, it does not fight well. So it's famous words of Napoleon. But Pétain applied it. Marshal Rommel, Erwin Rommel, he made himself popular with his soldiers by going to the front line. So he drives his car, you know, and then he goes to the British, and then the British start to shoot at him, and then the bullets were whistling and everything. And then the generals were whistling, "Are you crazy? You know, let's get closer, let's have a look at them." You know? And so he drew closer until the bullets were really, and then everybody around him was completely scared. You know, okay, now it's good, let's turn around. And he turned around and leaves. Or he takes the plane, you know, those little bitty Fizzler-Storch observation plane, you know, and, bzzz, and he flies over the lines. And the man can say, "Hey, there is Rommel over there." And then he would inspect the lines and everything. So there is a proximity with this man. And he was also easygoing, kind of. That is, in Rommel, he was very strict on his own uniform, but he would allow people around him to be very relaxed. And so either some of them would mimic his perfect uniforms, and others would relax, and that was fine. There was a Rommel way to lead his people. And so great leaders lead through friendship. And they were very effective. Like Genghis Khan, it's interesting. The Chinese did a movie recently on Genghis Khan. It's very interesting how he obtained the respect of the Mongol tribes by, whenever necessary, being able to forgive the feud. Whenever necessary. But also by maintaining the principle that you do not let down your lord, your local lord. And so Genghis Khan was able to win over the hearts of all the Mongol tribes who were never united in history. Because he was able to unite them through his friendship, he was able to invade the entire earth. It became the biggest empire that ever was, until the United States arrived.